Hey everybody, it's Marvin here. We're approaching the end of our execution cycle with our clients, and we're also, at the time of this recording, approaching the end of the fasting month, which is almost kind of like, a lot of these companies are entering the last mile, either before the beginning of the new execution cycle or, going into break and then starting again after Eid al-Fitr. And it's kind of like running the last mile of a race, where what usually happens to athletes who are doing it is kind of happening to the people that are in your company or the corporate athletes. In that basically there's two things happening to them with regards to their energy and the emotions. This is the final stretch. This is when we're doing that final push to make sure that we're hitting our targets, that we don't go into the holidays with regret, with the feeling that we've left something on the table. So what usually happens is that energy levels are dropping and emotions, on the other hand, are increasing. Yeah, and so what's happening here is that people are getting a bit more tired. They're using stimulants like more coffee or more energy drinks just to get them going, and the emotions are getting high, so they're getting into more arguments. They're not talking to each other, or that if they're talking to each other, they're not matching. So let's look at the situation and what we can do as leaders to remedy this, to make sure that our team can get over that last mile in record time and in records and good spirits as well. So let's look at the following model. So if we look at this chart here, we're going to map out two different things. Number one is going to be performance, and the other one's going to be pressure. So as our team is subjected to increasing amounts of pressure, it's very obvious that the performance will go up. But when we hit them with too much pressure, you can see that usually performance starts to taper down. And this is usually the plague of the last mile, when sometimes the pressure is just a little bit too much. So what do we do as leaders to make sure that they're running at their optimal range, which is around this area? So as leaders, we've got to make sure that we're pretty good with the gas pedal. We need to know when we want to be applying the pressure, and we want to know also when we can take off our the foot from the gas pedal to reduce the pressure, so that our team can throttle back and forth in this optimal range. And we talked about in our previous videos what leaders could actually do to make sure that this happens. So there's going to be two things to make sure that we take care of their emotions and we take care of their energy. So when we take care of their emotions, we want to make sure leaders remember to work on the heart of the team. Show people that you care. Get people to show each other that they care about them more than just the results. Yes, we want to win, but we want to win together, right? We want everyone to do this well. Yes, we're going to scream at someone who's not performing well, but we do that because we all want to win together. Okay, so we got to make sure that we work on connection, we work on building the trust and creating that bond between the team. And then the other thing is, when we talk about the energy, we got to make sure that we think about two things. The first will obviously be, what can we do to improve the energy of the team? So this could be things like, taking an hour off of work, go home early, come to work a little bit later. It can be listening to music in the middle of the day. Lots of different things that we talk about in our Leadership Rhythm series. But more importantly, we need to understand what gives the leader energy, right? What gives you as energy leader? So I want you to think about being on a plane, and then the announcement goes, in the case of sudden loss of cabin pressure, the oxygen mask will drop down, and we have to put on the oxygen mask in ourselves first before we help others with it. So if you as a leader are running at low energy, how can we make sure that our team has high energy? So just had a session with one of our clients today, and we talked about making sure that she knows how many oxygen breaks she can take during the day and what are her sources of oxygen to make sure that she's well taken care of. Something to think about, and I'll see you again next time.